Listen, life has a way of narrowing the road as you get older. The crowds thin out, the noise fades, and if you're not careful, loneliness will creep in like a shadow. But I'm here to tell you, age doesn't have to mean isolation. Happiness is a choice, and it's one you make every single day. Here's how movement is one of the most powerful tools you have to combat loneliness and maintain happiness as you age. It's not about running marathons or lifting heavy weights, unless that's what brings you joy, but about keeping your body engaged, your blood flowing, and your mind sharp. When you move, you remind yourself that you are alive, capable, and connected to the world around you. A simple daily walk can work wonders. Step outside, feel the sun on your skin, notice the trees, the birds, the rhythm of your own breath. Walking isn't just exercise, it's an act of presence, a way to ground yourself in the moment rather than getting lost in the past or worrying about the future. If walking isn't an option, gentle stretching or chair exercises can keep your muscles active and your joints flexible. The key is consistency. Small daily movement is far more powerful than occasional intense workouts. Dance is another incredible way to move your body and lift your spirits. You don't need a partner or a dance floor. Just turn on your favorite music and let yourself sway, tap your feet, or even wave your arms. Movement to music releases endorphins, those natural mood boosters that fight off feelings of isolation. It's hard to feel lonely when your body is alive with rhythm. And if you've ever thought, I'm too old for this, remember, joy has no age limit. The body may slow down, but the spirit doesn't have to. Physical activity also keeps your mind sharp. Studies show that regular movement improves memory, reduces the risk of cognitive decline, and even helps regulate emotions. When you're feeling low, a short walk can shift your perspective. Exercise increases blood flow to the brain, which means better focus, clearer thoughts, and a stronger sense of control over your own well-being. It's not just about adding years to your life, it's about adding life to your years. Movement also creates opportunities for connection. Join a walking group, take a water aerobics class, or simply greet neighbors on your daily stroll. These small interactions remind you that you're part of a community. Even if you prefer solitude, moving in shared spaces, parks, trails, community centers, subtly reinforces that you're not alone in this world. Finally, movement is a form of self-respect. When you take care of your body, you send yourself a message, I matter. It's easy to neglect yourself when you feel isolated, but the act of moving, whether it's stretching, walking, or dancing in your kitchen, is a rebellion against that neglect. You're choosing to show up for yourself, to honor the life you still have, and when you do that consistently, loneliness loses its grip. The body was made to move, and as long as you keep it in motion, you keep yourself engaged with life. So don't wait for motivation. Start small, stand up, take a step, and let your movement be a daily declaration that you're still here, still strong, and still fully capable of joy. Your mind is like a garden. If you don't tend to it, weeds of stagnation and loneliness will take root. Feeding your mind isn't just about passing time. It's about keeping your curiosity alive, your intellect sharp, and your spirit engaged with the world. The moment you stop learning is the moment you start shrinking. But when you actively nourish your thoughts, you build a fortress against isolation, because a stimulated mind is never truly alone. Start with reading. Books are portals to other worlds, other perspectives, other lives. They allow you to travel without moving, to meet fascinating people, real and imagined, without leaving your chair. Whether it's fiction that sweeps you into another era or nonfiction that teaches you something new, reading keeps your brain active and your imagination thriving. And it doesn't have to be heavy literature. Even a gripping mystery, a book of poetry, or a biography can spark joy and keep your cognitive gears turning. If your eyes tire easily, try audiobooks. Let the words wash over you while you sit with your eyes closed or go about your day. The key is to keep feeding your mind stories, ideas, and knowledge. Podcasts and documentaries are another way to stay mentally engaged. There's a podcast on nearly every topic: history, science, philosophy, true crime, comedy. Find one that excites you and make it part of your routine. Listen while you cook, garden, or take a walk. Documentaries can open your eyes to new places, cultures, and ideas, making the world feel bigger and more connected. When you learn something new, you give yourself something to think about, to discuss, to marvel at, and that keeps loneliness at bay. Never underestimate the power of a new hobby. Learning keeps the brain plastic, adaptable, and resilient. Always wanted to paint? Buy a sketch pad and start doodling. Curious about chess? Play against a computer or join an online club. Gardening, knitting, woodworking, photography, the options are endless. The goal isn't mastery, it's engagement. The act of learning something new creates a sense of progress, and progress is the antidote to feeling stuck. Conversation is another vital way to feed your mind. Seek out people who challenge your thinking, make you laugh, or introduce you to new ideas. If in-person interactions are limited, join a book club online, participate in discussion forums, or even strike up thoughtful conversations with cashiers, neighbors, or old friends. A good talk is like mental nourishment. It stretches your perspectives and reminds you that your thoughts matter. Finally, reflection is a form of mental feeding. Write in a journal, ponder life's big questions, or simply sit quietly and let your mind wander. The unexamined life may not always be worth living, but the examined one is infinitely richer. When you reflect, you process your experiences, find meaning in them, and grow wiser. A hungry mind is a restless one, but a well-fed mind is content, curious, and connected. So pick up that book, press play on that podcast, or dive into that new skill. Keep your mind engaged, and you'll find that loneliness struggles to take hold in a life that's always learning, always growing, always alive with thought. Loneliness thrives in silence, but connection is just one conversation away. The simple truth is this: people won't always come to you, especially as the years pass and life scatters everyone in different directions. That's why you must be the one to reach out. Waiting for the phone to ring is a gamble with your own happiness. Instead, pick it up and dial. Send that text. Write that letter. Knock on that neighbor's door. Every connection you initiate is a strike against isolation, a reminder that you are not invisible, not forgotten, and far from alone in this world. Start small. A quick check-in with an old friend, a voice message to your grandchild, or even a friendly chat with a mail carrier can shift your entire day. These moments of contact are lifelines, not just for you, but often for the person on the other end too. You'd be surprised how many people are just as hungry for connection as you are, but are also waiting for someone else to make the first move. Be that person. A simple "I was thinking about you" can reignite a relationship that's been dormant for years. Technology can be a bridge, not a barrier. Video calls, social media, and messaging apps exist for this very reason, to close the gaps that time and distance create. If you've resisted these tools, consider learning just one. Ask a younger family member to walk you through it, or visit your local library for help. Seeing a loved one's face, hearing their laugh in real time, sharing stories as they happen, these are modern miracles that previous generations never had. Use them. But don't overlook the power of old-fashioned communication. A handwritten letter carries weight in a world drowning in digital noise. There's something deeply personal about holding a page someone touched, knowing they took the time to choose their words carefully. Send postcards, clippings from the newspaper, or even just a funny doodle with a note. These tangible pieces of connection become keepsakes for you and for them. Community is everywhere if you're willing to step into it. Senior centers, places of worship, volunteer organizations, and local classes are filled with people who are also looking to connect. Shared activity is the easiest way to build new relationships. Conversation flows naturally when you're side by side planting gardens, playing cards, or folding origami. If leaving home is difficult, virtual communities exist for nearly every interest imaginable. From online book clubs to forums for bird watchers or wartime history buffs, there's a group waiting to welcome you. And remember, reaching out isn't just about combating your own loneliness, it's about offering something to others too. Listen as much as you speak. Ask questions. Be genuinely interested. Sometimes the greatest gift you can give is your attention. When you focus on someone else's story, your own struggles momentarily fade. And that's a kind of magic. The bottom line: connection is a habit, not a happy accident. Make it daily, even on days when you don't feel like it, especially on those days. One awkward or unanswered attempt isn't failure, it's practice. Keep going. The world is full of people who need exactly what you have to offer: your presence, your stories, your willingness to say, "Let's talk." So don't wait. Reach out like your happiness depends on it, because it does. One of the greatest antidotes to loneliness and aging isn't just staying busy, it's staying needed, Purpose is the invisible force that pulls you out of bed in the morning, that makes your heart beat a little faster, that reminds you, I still have something to give. Without it, days blur together in a fog of repetition, but with it, even the smallest actions carry weight. Purpose isn't some grand destiny reserved for the young or the extraordinary. It's woven into the fabric of everyday life, waiting for you to claim it. Start by asking yourself, what lights me up? What used to make me lose track of time? Maybe it's teaching, creating, fixing, or nurturing. Whatever it is, find a way to do more of it. If you loved cooking, bake for neighbors or teach a grandchild your recipes. If you were skilled with tools, offer to repair small items for friends. If you have a lifetime of stories, write them down or share them aloud. Your skills didn't expire with age. They became rarer, more valuable. The world still needs what you've spent decades mastering. Volunteering is one of the most powerful ways to cultivate purpose. Soup kitchens, animal shelters, libraries, and hospitals all thrive because of people who show up and say, put me to work. But purpose doesn't require an organization. It can be as simple as being the person who remembers birthdays, who calls the lonely neighbor every Tuesday, who tends the community garden plot. These quiet acts of service create ripples far beyond what you see. When you focus on contributing, you stop feeling like a burden and start feeling like a cornerstone. Mentorship is another profound way to create meaning. Younger generations are desperate for wisdom, for someone to say, I've been there. Let me help. Share your hard-earned lessons with a young professional, a struggling parent, or a teenager learning the ropes. You don't need formal training to listen, to encourage, to say, try again. The act of guiding someone else not only gives them strength, it reinforces your own. If mobility is limited, purpose shifts, but doesn't disappear. Knit hats for preemies in hospitals. Record audiobooks for the visually impaired. Write letters to soldiers or prisoners. Organize family photos into albums. Curate a playlist of music that shaped your life and share it. Purpose isn't about scale, it's about intention. A single handwritten note to a grieving friend can be as meaningful as a public speech. Animals and plants also offer daily purpose. Adopting a pet gives you a living being that relies on your care, a reason to move, to nurture, to laugh. Houseplants, a balcony garden, or even a bird feeder create small rituals of tending and watching life grow. These quiet responsibilities anchor you to the present. Finally, reframe how you view your role. You are a keeper of history, a witness to decades of change. Interview yourself on video about the world you've seen. Label old photos with names and dates. Your memories are a gift the future will treasure. Purpose isn't found, it's made. It's in a decision to show up, to say, I matter because I contribute. And here's the secret. The more you give your purpose to others, the more it fills you. Loneliness can't thrive in a life that's too busy making a difference. So ask not what the world can do for you, but what you can do today, however small, that only you can. That's where joy hides. Gratitude isn't just a feeling, it's a practice, a lens through which you choose to see the world, even when shadows loom large. As we age, it's easy to fixate on what's been lost, youth, speed, people we've loved. But gratitude shifts the focus to what remains, what's been gained, and what's still beautiful right now. This simple act of noticing the good doesn't deny life's hardships. It simply refuses to let them dominate the story. And science confirms what the wisest among us have always known. Gratitude rewires the brain for contentment, eases loneliness, and makes ordinary moments glow. Begin each morning by naming 3 things you're grateful for before your feet even touch the floor. The warmth of blankets, the sound of birds outside, the fact that you woke up at all. These don't need to be grand. In fact, it's the tiny, often overlooked gifts that build the most resilient gratitude. The way sunlight patterns the wall, a favorite mug, the smell of rain. When you train yourself to spot these fragments of grace daily, you're building a mental safety net for harder days. Keep a gratitude journal, but make it vivid. Don't just write, I'm thankful for my friend. Describe the crinkles around their eyes when they laugh, how their voice lifts saying your name, the way they always remember how you take your tea. Specificity transforms routine appreciation into sacred attention. On difficult days, flip through these pages. They become proof of how much goodness still exists in your life, even when your mood argues otherwise. Turn gratitude outward as medicine for loneliness. Tell people why you appreciate them, not in generalities, but with precise, unexpected details. That story you told last week about your father made me remember. Or, I still think about the time you brought me soup when I was ill. This kind of gratitude doesn't just brighten their day, it forges connection through the intimate act of being truly seen. Even brief exchanges with cashiers or neighbors become richer when you express genuine appreciation for their quick smile, their helpfulness, their presence in your community. Reframe challenges through gratitude's alchemy. Arthritis stiffens your hands, but you're grateful they still hold a grandchild's fingers. You miss driving, but appreciate the slower pace that lets you notice gardens you once sped past. This isn't Pollyannish denial, it's the profound wisdom of holding both grief and gratitude simultaneously, letting each keep the other honest. Create gratitude rituals. Say grace before meals, even if you're alone. Not just for the food, but for everyone who brought it to your table. End each day by mentally replaying one beautiful moment. The cardinal at the feeder, the perfect first sip of tea, the way the phone call with your sister ended in shared laughter. Let these memories lull you to sleep. Gratitude also means honoring your own resilience. Be thankful for the wisdom your struggles carved into you. Thank your body, not for being perfect, but for carrying you this far. Speak to yourself with the same appreciation you'd offer a dear old friend. In the end, gratitude is a rebellion against despair. It's the stubborn decision to name the light even as you acknowledge the dark. The more you practice, the more you'll realize abundance wasn't something you lost. It was here all along, waiting in the quiet corners of your attention. And perhaps the greatest gift of gratitude is this. It roots you so firmly in the present that loneliness struggles to take hold. When you're busy counting blessings, you're too occupied to tally lacks. The world shimmers with small wonders if only you'll train yourself to see. Laughter is far more than just a momentary escape. It's a defiant act of self-preservation, a spark that can light up even the darkest corners of solitude. As we grow older, life has a way of turning serious, weighing us down with losses, aches, and quiet rooms that echo with absence. But laughter cuts through that heaviness like nothing else. It's oxygen for the soul, a reminder that joy doesn't retire just because we've added more candles to the birthday cake. The best part? You don't need anyone else to start laughing, though sharing it certainly magnifies its magic. Start by seeking out humor deliberately, like a daily vitamin for your spirit. Watch old comedy shows that once made you gasp for breath, whether it's the timeless wit of Lucille Ball or the sharp banter of your favorite sitcom. Let yourself chuckle at the absurdities of life, the silly mishaps that come with aging. Dropped your teeth in the sink? Laughed at autocorrect, turning your serious text into nonsense. These aren't embarrassments, they're material. The ability to laugh at yourself is a superpower that dissolves isolation's grip. Surround yourself with people who make you laugh, even if it's through a screen or phone call. There's a reason certain friends leave you clutching your sides. Seek them out. Humor is contagious, and so is the connection it fosters. Share funny stories, reminisce about ridiculous moments from your past, or exchange terrible jokes like currency. I told my doctor I broke my arm in 2 places. He told me to stop going to those places. Laughter shared is loneliness halved. If you're alone, create your own laughter. Keep a joke book by your chair or subscribe to a daily humor email. Watch animal videos that showcase the hilarious chaos of nature. Penguins slipping on ice, dogs failing spectacularly at catching treats. Let yourself be silly. Make faces in the mirror, dance badly to a catchy tune, or try telling a joke to your pet. They might not get the punchline, but your own laughter will lighten the room. Laughter also heals the body in measurable ways. It lowers stress hormones, boosts immunity, and releases endorphins that act as natural painkillers. When you laugh, your brain can't simultaneously dwell on loneliness or worry. It's a reset button for your mood, a brief vacation from life's weight. Even forced laughter can trick your brain into genuine relief. Try it. Fake a chuckle, and soon you'll find yourself laughing for real at the absurdity of fake laughing. Humor also reframes life's irritations. That neighbor whose gossip drives you nuts, imagine them as a cartoon character with a speech bubble. The frustration of technology that won't cooperate, picture it as a mischievous gremlin living in your devices. By choosing to see life's annoyances through a lens of humor, you reclaim power over them. Most importantly, laughter is an act of resistance against despair, against invisibility, against the narrative that aging is only about decline. Every chuckle declares, I'm still here, still vibrant, still finding delight in this world. It connects you to your younger self, to memories of belly laughs that left you breathless, to the truth that joy isn't bound by age. So today, seek out something, anything that makes you laugh. Let us shake loose the dust of solitude. Your spirit, your body, and your heart will thank you. After all, a day without laughter is like a sky without stars. Still functional, but missing its brightest lights. Life accumulates memories like stones in a river, some smooth from years of handling, others still rough with unfinished edges. Reflection is how we polish these stones, turning experiences into wisdom. But there's a dangerous line between healthy reflection and toxic dwelling. One nourishes your present, while the other chains you to the past. As we age, the temptation to live in yesterday grows stronger. We revisit old triumphs like faded trophies, poke at regrets like sore teeth, and replay conversations long after the other person has forgotten them. But here's the truth. Reflection becomes dwelling the moment it stops teaching you and starts torturing you. The art is in learning to visit your past without moving in. Set aside intentional time to reflect, perhaps with morning coffee or evening tea, but give it boundaries like you would any important guest. Ask constructive questions. What did this teach me? How did it shape who I am now? What beauty existed alongside the pain? Then close the album. This disciplined approach prevents reflection from bleeding into every quiet moment, hijacking present joys with past sorrows. Write letters you'll never send to your younger self, to loved ones gone, to versions of your life that never came to be. Pour out all the words, then tuck them away or burn them ceremonially. This ritual acknowledges the weight of your history while declaring you won't carry it every day. The page becomes a container for what no longer needs to live in your mind. When regrets surface, meet them with the compassion you'd offer a dear friend. Yes, you made choices with consequences. So did everyone who's ever lived. But regret only becomes useful when it transforms into something else, a lesson applied now, amends made where possible, or simply the determination to be gentler with your past self. What's done is done. What's now is still yours to shape. Celebrate your resilience by intentionally recalling how you've survived hard times before, not to relive the pain, but to remember your own strength. That divorce that shattered you, you rebuilt. That job loss that felt catastrophic, you adapted. This reflection fortifies you for current challenges, proving you've weathered storms and can again. Create something tangible from your reflections, a memoir for family, a photo album with captions, even a list of life lessons to pass on. The act of curating your history transforms it from a weight into a legacy. Suddenly you're not stuck in the past, you're harvesting its riches to nourish the future. When memories grow heavy, ground yourself in physical sensations, the weight of a book in your hands, the scent of lemon in your tea, the crunch of leaves underfoot. Your past exists only in your mind. Your present is here, tangible, waiting for your attention. And when all else fails, borrow nature's wisdom. Trees don't cling to last year's leaves, they let them fall, compost them, and use their nutrients for new growth. You can honor your history without being trapped by it. Reflect to understand, not to punish. Visit, but don't reside. The past made you, but this moment, this breath, this glance out the window, this opportunity to choose what happens next, that's where your life actually is.